Are we live? Yeah. So I actually never made videos like this before. I never made videos about me. I got laid off from my job as a software developer, as a UI software engineer, and it was at the company that I really liked, and I really enjoyed working there. I really enjoyed the people, and I still really believe in a product. I think we have a really strong product, and I am honestly wishing them the best. I wish that they survive in this really competitive market, and I do recognize that laying people off was most likely a very tough decision for management, and they really try to make everything in their power to be good and fair to us. So absolutely no resentment about that part, but at the same time it's more about where I am in life right now as a professional, as a software developer in the United States, and also as a human. And about 4-6 months ago, my husband and I decided to go our separate ways amicably. And now, 1 week ago, I'm losing my job, which isn't, for a lot of people, for a lot of Americans, this is a big deal, because in America we're so identifying ourselves with our family status and with our professional accomplishments. And when I first heard that the company is letting me go, along with other people, of course, my first reaction was panic, and I thought, I am not prepared for this. Of course, I changed a lot of jobs before in the past, but I always had another job lined up. As a proactive person, I always I was always prepared. I Most of the time I was the one initiating the job change. I always had something better. I always had something, either better pay or a much better opportunity for growing professionally and personally. So this time I was a little bit unprepared, and I wished, my first reaction was, I'm not ready. I don't have enough saved up. I don't have another job lined up. I wish I had more time. I wish I had 2-3 more months to prepare for this. And I frantically started thinking about my resume, the recruiters. I need to let everybody know. I need to hurry up. And then there was this really vivid, clear moment when I felt that I was completely burnt out. And that was significant because I felt like very clearly that here I am being burnt out. I will naturally be trying to take from the market or take from the industry instead of having enough energy to actually give. And this is a very important distinction. So I decided, you know what? I'm just gonna pause. And I'm gonna reflect. And I'm gonna rest a little bit. I'm gonna rest and recover, and then I will try to come up with a little bit better plan. And some of the things also came up. So it's been 1 week, and none of my coworkers reached out to express their sympathies, which is, they're wonderful people, and we were getting along really well. And I think it's just a reflection on in today's industry, working remotely, corporate culture is just, we work together, we spend time, we kind of build relationship. And very often when a person loses his or her job, they don't only lose job, but they also lose connections with these other people. And I'm lucky enough where I have loving family, I have supportive friends, um, so I don't really depend on this circle. And yet for a lot of other people this is just not the case. We in the United States, we spend so much energy, time to build this professional relationships, professional circles. So when it's gone, we are alone and isolated. And then at the same time, this epidemic of mental disease happening in the US, and people are wondering, well, why are people on antidepressants and anti-anxiety medications? Well, probably that's why there is a lot of people. We seem to spend time with them, and yet there is no real connection. We are isolated and we are alone, pretty much. If this is all you got, if the professional life is pretty much all you got. So I'm thinking right now I can jump back into the rat race, and I can start applying, looking for jobs, trying to get any job, because the market is a little crazy. It's very competitive. AI is replacing us, the engineers. But I think it is better to just stop and reassess a little bit. And if someone is burnt out, they are in survival mode, right? They're not looking at things clearly. They don't make good decisions. And being burnt out, being in survival mode, if we have any chance at all to stop, I think it is better to stop and just reassess a little bit. And I think I'm gonna take a tiny, small sabbatical, and I will try to rest and recover, repair my body, balance my nervous system, which is so fast, right? So I'm thinking about doing that and kind of creating this small experiment. I didn't really do this before. And instead of trying to jump into the rat race and becoming the part of the matrix again, which is, not a bad thing, not a bad thing at all, but I think I will try to do this experiment and see what happens in maybe 3 months, maybe 4, and try to pause and look around and see what am I curious about. I actually genuinely liked coding before, and there are some apps that I've just really wanted to do for the last 5 years, and I just stopped doing. I stopped coding for pleasure. I stopped coding for fun, and that's too bad, right? We're humans. We are playful. We like to play. We like to do things not just for money. We like to create. And I want to get a little bit more into this creative state, not only slow down and recharge, but also to kind of see what am I curious about, what I'd like to create. There is this app idea, and I will do this maybe using the latest, most exciting tech. And right now in software development, this is a really exciting time to be alive and creating, because you have a lot of tools in your disposal. Even besides just coding, I love creating websites for regular people, for people who don't really know how to create websites for themselves. Even some young people, it's even with AI tools, it's still a very complicated, confusing process to create a website and put it on this wild web. So I think I want to do something in this direction. I want to maybe set up a quick part-time creative studio and maybe build some websites for regular people and see the joy on their face uh, when they see the online tiny little digital presence. And I've done it a couple of times in the last year, and it brought me immense pleasure. I understand there is not a lot of money in it, which is too bad, but maybe there are some opportunities. And in this next 3-4 months, I want to see if maybe there are some opportunities that right now in this survival mode and this kind of panic, I just simply don't see. Maybe there are opportunities that maybe will not make me a millionaire, right? They will not create a huge amount of money, but it's something that's very fulfilling. And then there is some money, or maybe there is no money. Right now, again, comparing even 10 years before, when I started my software journey a little over 10 years ago, and there's just so many options for us now. We literally can, if you know how, you can create a beautiful website. You can host it for free on, if you know where. You can even have some basic free backend, and yeah, you don't even have to spin up your own server. There are companies who pretty much allow you to do it, and to just create these free opportunities for people to store their digital presence on the internet. I think it might be pretty cool. So yeah, it's an experiment. I don't want I don't want to seem too optimistic, but I am really scared. Obviously, still, it's, as a single mom in America, things are not always. There's the feeling of safety is rare, even though we're living in this beautiful country. We have so many resources, and yet, unless you have a job with a stable paycheck, and as my friend once told me, there is nothing more addictive or addicting than a stable paycheck. And oh boy, I'm here to attest to that. Knowing that there is no more paychecks coming, it's frankly terrifying. And all these fears are, coming. Will I be on the street with my daughter? What about this house? And what about the bills, property taxes? What about food? Definitely real. And I will obviously have to do very serious budgeting. I will need to learn a lot of techniques to being able to use my tiny little savings to last me for a couple of months while I'm letting myself, slow down, breathe, get out of survival mode, and just see what's out there. So wish me luck.